You know, some horror movies don't just scare you, they scar you. The ones with the kinds of endings that creep into your head, set up shop, and just never leave. So tonight, we're gonna count down the top 10 horror movie endings that traumatized us forever. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. Alright, so 10 horror movie endings that traumatized us. You know exactly the ones that I'm talking about. They just get in there, they fill you with this sense of unease, dread, they shock us, and they leave us unsettled and talking about them forever. So we're going to jump right into the list at number 10 with one that is very hard for me to watch because of the ending. Now, spoiler alert, we're talking endings here, so if you don't want endings spoiled, this might be the time to click away from this video, but if you're gonna stay with me, we're going back to 2007 and The Mist. Now, this is when Frank Darabont went deeper and darker than Stephen King even ever dared to. So after surviving monsters and madness and mayhem in a Lovecraftian sort of otherworldly takeover of this small town, our hero plans to make the ultimate sacrifice to spare his son and his friends, only for the military to arrive seconds too late. Now, this ending is not only cruel, it is devastating, and it is the rare horror ending where audiences actually gasped, and some were absolutely furious and repulsed at the ending. But that's why it kind of gives this punch that sticks with us. I personally do not like the ending of this movie. I can't watch it. It is hard and it stays with you, but that's why it's on this list. It comes in at number 10. Now, at number 9 on this list, we go to 1983 and maybe one of the most famous, shocking endings of all time, a lasting image from Sleepaway Camp. Camp slashers might have been very common, almost a dime a dozen in the 80s until this one. Felissa Rose plays Angela, whose secret is revealed, let's say, in the final freeze frame. Yes, she's the killer, and definitely not who anyone thought she was. The shriek, the close-up, the sheer what the hell am I looking at factor of this ending. It is branded itself into horror history. Controversial, kind of disgusting, kind of unforgettable. That is Sleepaway Camp. It had to be on this list. No question. It comes in at number 9. Now, at number 8, we go to a movie that I really enjoy, but really flips the horror genre on its head. It really tells us how, why, and where all of those horror movie tropes we love so much come from. I am talking about The Cabin in the Woods. So this one, like I said, flips the genre on its head as what starts out as sort of a cliche slasher, almost Evil Dead style movie, turns into a sci-fi horror conspiracy that ends with the apocalypse. The old gods, the demons, the devil, hell, whatever you want to call it, as our survivors decide humanity is not worth saving, and you know, they decide they're going to sit there and get high. Sigourney Weaver makes a surprise appearance. There's all kinds of things going on as they usher in literally the end of the world, taking what is dark and funny in a cool monster movie and leaving it extra dark and somewhat traumatizing in its own way, because it tells the story of every horror movie that we've ever loved as just a puppet, a control mechanism, a sacrifice to these demonic gods, and then just hand the world over to them. It was an ending that surprised even me because I was hoping for lots of sequels. It's one that really I didn't even see coming, and that's saying something. This one comes in at number 8. Now, going to 1973 with one that has a much darker tone, which is odd to say considering the last one involved giving the end of the world over to hell gods. But this one even though I say that, has really no gore, no jump scares, just pure dread with The Wicker Man. Sergeant Howie solves the puzzle only to realize he is the sacrifice, trapped inside the wicker effigy, burning alive as the villagers sing to his demise. It's folk horror at its most haunting, a man of faith who is consumed by this ritual, and a small town smiling and singing as he screams and burns to death. I mean, forget Nicolas Cage and the Bees and that whole remake and all that. The original ending is pure nightmare fuel, and something about them gleefully enjoying it just makes it even more unsettling and traumatizing. The Wicker Man, perfect for this list. It comes in at number 7. Now with number 6, we go to yet another Stephen King creation that was taken to a dark and awesome but disturbing place by Brian De Palma in 1976's Carrie. This is Stephen King's first adaptation of this movie, and it's Brian De Palma, who it just is a master of these kinds of movies. He gave us horror's most famous stinger, really, at the end of this movie. After Carrie's prom revenge, the quiet aftermath of it kind of lulls you to sleep, to peace, to think, okay, that's how it's all gonna go down. That was just a big, insane mess at the prom. And then the hand rockets out of the grave, a trope that has been used again and again. But audiences in 1976 were not ready for that. Popcorn went flying, and horror filmmakers learned an all new trick, a stinger at the end, one last sucker punch to the audience. Simple, effective, but forever burned into our brains. Carrie paved the way for that. It comes in at number 6. Now, turning the page to one that is much more of a slow burn, atmospheric, shocking twist, we go to 2001's The Others. Slow burn gothic, horror, haunted house, ghost story, whatever you want to call it. Nicole Kidman's Grace isn't being haunted, she is the ghost. The chilling reveal reframes everything that you have seen, and the tragedy sinks in. Everything that you've been built up in this movie hits home when that reveal twist happens. Her family is trapped in their own special private afterlife, doomed to linger in this house. Like I said, no violence, no gore, just the awful realization that the nightmare already happened and it is too late to do anything about it. That might be the most scary of all. The Others, just super unsettling, and it will stay with you long after you've turned this movie off. It comes in at number 5. Now at number 4, we are going classic, back to Alfred Hitchcock's 1960 Psycho. Now, Hitchcock shattered expectations with this one for sure. First by killing his leading lady halfway through the movie in the most famous shower scene of all time. Then by pulling the curtain on Norman Bates and his mother. That final grin, the mother's skeleton corpse, and Norman's chilling inner monologue just basically traumatized audiences in 1960, and it will still get under your skin today. That twist that the mother was dead the whole time isn't just shocking, it set the standard for every horror twist ending to come. Hitchcock, the master of things that are unsettling, and it is extremely unsettling in Psycho. Lots of imitators, never perfectly duplicated on this one. Sick, twisted, perfect. It comes in at number 4. Now at number 3, we go to maybe the best horror film ever made. 1982's The Thing. John Carpenter's paranoid fueled masterpiece ends not with any clear-cut answers, though I just did a deep dive documentary on this that you can check out on the channel and get all of my thoughts on it. But it doesn't give you complete answers in the film for yourself. Just a bitter uncertainty about what the fate of these characters, what the fate of the thing, and what the fate of the world is. After all the carnage, MacReady and Childs remain, or do they? Is one of them infected? Is both of them infected? Is neither of them infected? Will either survive the cold? Carpenter leaves us stranded in the snow with MacReady and Childs with no clear resolution, just dread and a sense of inescapability that is very bleak. In fact, it is one of the bleakest, most debated endings in horror, and the ambiguity still has us talking, arguing, and haunting us today. The Thing, absolutely no question, it had to be here. It comes in at number 3. Now, number 2, this might be one that you're not expecting, but I am going to tell you why 1968's Night of the Living Dead has to be on this list. Not only did George Romero get credit for revolutionizing horror and the zombie genre with this film, although there was maybe a film that kind of did this before him, he gutted audiences and me with one of the cruelest and most shocking and horrific deaths in horror history at the end of this movie. After surviving the night of terror, Ben finally emerges at dawn only to be just dismissively cold and callously shot dead by a trigger-happy posse who mistake him for a zombie. The hero is killed and casually tossed on the fire. This wasn't just shocking, it was stunning, to say the least. I mean, your hero just boom, dead after the fact. Audiences were shaken, angry, but either way, they were forever changed. It changed the face of horror. The ticking time bomb situation with the end of the world just outside your door, only to survive it and be taken out anyway. One of the most shocking deaths in horror history, in my opinion, and it comes right at the end. So Night of the Living Dead from 1968 comes in at number 2 on this list. And that just leaves one, and I really think that there was no question about what number 1 had to be. 1999's The Sixth Sense.
I see dead people.
M. Night Shyamalan's twist in this movie became sort of a cultural earthquake. Everyone was talking about it, and they still do today. Even if it's in parody, even if it's a joke, it is still in the public zeitgeist 25 plus years later, as Bruce Willis was dead the whole time. Yes, the clues were always there, they were everywhere, but the reveal hits like a freight train, forcing you to mentally replay every scene in the movie. It didn't just traumatize, it sort of redefined what horror endings could be: clever, emotional, and devastating without a single drop of blood. Love it or not, the ending left audiences more stunned than any other. We still talk about it to this day. Even M. Night Shyamalan himself could never recreate this to this level. The Sixth Sense, groundbreaking when it comes to twist endings like that. It still holds up. We still talk about it, and that's why it is still number 1. And there you have it. 10 horror movie endings that traumatized us, shocked us, thrilled us, and leave us haunted and talking about them today. Which one of these scarred you the most? Not scared, but scarred you the most? Was it The Thing's ambiguity? Was it Romero's gut punch? Or was it that awesome, gruesome, horrific ending of The Mist? Let me know in the comments which one hit you the hardest. And hey, if you made it this far, please like and subscribe. If you're into all of the horror and nostalgia, movies, physical media, all that kind of stuff, We bring it all back to life right here at AVA Pop Culture, and I hope that you hang out with us. If you'd like to support what we do here even more, you can join my Patreon below, and you'll get your name in lights on every one of these videos. Special members versions of videos like this, members only videos, 4K reviews of new films, all kinds of stuff on the Patreon, and everything goes back into the channel, and I really do appreciate it. Special shout out to members right now, the Boogeyman's Closet. Thank you so much. Why So Blue, thank you so much for being a part of this. All of you, I appreciate it. And until next time, be kind, rewind. Like always, this is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
I know.